you all for joining us for Flow Yoga this morning. We'll start out in a recline posture today. So we're going to bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees splay open. Bring your hands behind you and take your time to come down on your back. And if it's easier to get down on your back and then put your feet together, that's another way you could do it. Now this might not be comfortable. If it's not comfortable for you to have your feet together and your knees splayed open, you could lift your knees up towards each other and let the soles of your feet rest on the mat, knees sort of leaning in, and do that instead. Sometimes the knees splayed is a bit much in the hips. If you have yoga blocks, you might put the blocks under the outsides of your knees to take the weight of your legs, make it more passive. Your hands could just rest on the floor, or you could rest your hands on your body, on your belly to feel your breathing, or on your chest to feel your heart, or one hand for each. Close your eyes if you like, and just notice your breath to get started. Just allowing it the time to slow down and get deeper. Feeling the way your breath moves your body around. And taking in the sensations that come with those movements. Just noticing whatever there is to notice. Scan your body, see whatever sensations are present for you. Taking it all in, the good and the bad. Making particular note of anything that you would deem bad. Not to just focus on the negative, but to take care of yourself. If anything's feeling stiff or sore, making a mental note to keep it in mind so you can take care of whatever it is and not aggravate that negative sensation. You're welcome to skip or modify any portion of practice to accommodate whatever you've got going on. Remembering that pain is an important signal. If it hurts to do something, don't do it. Back away from that. If there's tightness, if there's some resistance, it's okay to gently probe against the resistance and explore it. But you don't want to try to push through pain. Whenever your mind wanders during practice, just nice and gently bring your attention back to noticing your breathing, back to observing what's going on in your body. And it doesn't matter how many times you need to do this. It's about how gently we do it. If you'd like to set a more personal intention for your practice, you can take the time to do that now. Let that solidify in your mind and sink in for a few breaths. And before we begin to move around, let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth with a sighing sound. And let your arms help your legs come out of this splayed posture. Bring your hands to the outside of your knees or outside of your thighs, and let your arms nudge your legs in towards each other so the soles of your feet land on the mat with your knees pointing up. And then draw your knees into your chest. And with one hand on each knee, move your knees in circles, like opposite circles. And then change the direction of those circles. And hold on to your right knee, extend and lower your left leg down along your mat, and then extend your right arm out to the side. Feel your shoulder blade press to the floor, keeping your shoulders on the floor. Draw your knee over to the left and turn your head towards your right hand. Bring your head and your knee back up to center and switch legs. Draw your left knee in, hold your knee, extend and lower your right leg and your left arm. And draw your knee to the right, turn your head to the left. Come back up to center and draw both knees in. And start to rock front to back, roll your spine along the floor. If this doesn't feel good on your back, you could tip onto one side and press up to a seat. But it looks like everybody's good with the rocking. And after a few rocks, sit yourself up. Get comfortable. You don't have to sit exactly how I'm sitting. Sit so that you're comfortable. Feel the grounding contact of your butt on the floor. Think of the length of your spine. Think of the crown of your head reaching up toward the ceiling so that you're tall but not rigid or stiff. Bring your hands out to the sides. Rest your fingertips on the floor. Inhaling, reach your left arm up alongside your ear. As you exhale, let your arm drape over your head, fingertips coming to rest by your right ear. And let the weight of your arm bring your head over to the left, stretching out the side of the neck, the trapezius. If you like, reach up a little and out through your right fingertips to lengthen that muscle some more. If your right hand is raised, slowly let it down. Let your neck stay relaxed. Let your left hand slide across the top of your head and slide down to your cheek. Let your arm lift your head back up to the middle and then let that arm down. Inhaling, raise your right arm. And as you exhale, let it drape over your head. Gently draw your head to the right. And if you like, extend out through your left fingertips. Maybe think of sending your breath to the side of your neck. Let your left hand down if it's raised. Let your neck be passive. Allow your right hand to slide over and down, and use that right arm to nudge your head back to center. And let your arm come down. Now let's come up onto our hands and knees. I'm going to take some twist from here. So I'll start out facing the camera here. And I'm going to give a little fast forward demo because once you start to do this, you won't be able to see me so well. But we're going to do a spinal twist into an arm extension like this. and come down. We'll do that 3 times, and after the third one, we'll come down on the floor like this and explore some other options with moving our arm and our leg around. And I'll talk you through it all, but as you can see, once you're in this position, you're probably not going to be able to see your screen. But that's a fast forward preview of what we'll do. So the twist starts at the waist and then becomes the arm extension. So picture your back and working your way up from the waist. We'll go to your right first. So inhaling, twist through your lower back, middle back, upper back, reach your right arm out and up and look up towards your hand. Exhale, come down, reach across behind the other arm, thread the needle. So 2 more times. Inhale, open up, reach up and look up. Exhale, down, come across. And 1 more. Good. And then take your time, let your right shoulder and right ear come down on the floor. And maybe you just stay there. That might be plenty to do. If you want to explore, you might reach back with your left foot and press the ball of your foot against the floor. You could also pick the foot up and reach back in the air. That does come with the danger of tipping over onto your back. That happens sometimes. Alternatively, you might bring the left foot over by the right hand. And if you want, you can reach your left arm up towards the ceiling and let it float in the shoulder socket like an owl turning your head back and forth. Or fold your arm across your low back and open the shoulder like that. Couple more breaths wherever you're at. From what I saw on screen, everyone's done this before, maybe even done it with me before. Familiar sequences, good. So if you've moved your left arm, take your time, bring that hand back to the floor to stabilize. If you've moved your left leg, bring it back into position with the knee on the ground, and then press into your left hand. Inhale, open up, reach up, look up again. Exhale, come on down to table. Now let's take a few cow and cat breaths before we do the other side. Inhale, bring your heart forward, let your head and tailbone go up. Exhale, bring your heart up, let your head and tailbone come down. And after your next exhale, come back to table. And we'll go to the other side. So going to your left now. Remember to start at the waist. Inhale, twist through your lower back, your middle back, upper back, reach your arm out and up. Exhaling, bring it down, reach across to the right. 2 more times. Inhale, open, reach way up. Exhale, come down in the front. And really take your time to let the left shoulder and left ear come down to the floor. Explore as you like, maybe reaching back with your right foot or bringing it out to the side. And explore as you like with your right arm, reaching up and swiveling or folding across your low back or doing a bit of both. I like to explore all the different variations myself. If you've moved your right hand, bring it back down, ground into it. If you've moved your right leg, bring it back in and plant your knee. Pressing into your right hand, inhale, open up, reach up, look up. Exhale, come down, back to table. Have a few breaths of the old cow and cat. And after your next exhale, come back to table. And let's go ahead to downward dog, but we'll take our time on this first one. We're pretty well warmed up here. Curl your toes under. Press into your feet to lift your knees. Press into your hands, lift your tailbone. And then walk your dog for a few breaths, pedaling your feet up and down, finding length throughout the back of the body. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step your feet forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, pull down. Inhale, roll to standing, hands up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Let your hands hang at your sides. Raise your right shoulder up. Shift it back and let it down. And then your left shoulder up and back and down. Inhale, reach out toward the walls. Exhale and reach for your shoulder blades and hug yourself. Or if you like, take eagle arms. Intertwine your arms, bring your palms together. If you're doing eagle, reach your elbows and hands up and out away from you to further open the space between your shoulder blades. With an inhale, spread your wings. As you exhale, cross your arms the other way, grabbing your shoulder blades or taking eagle. Take a couple nice deep breaths. Inhale, open up again. Exhale, arms down. Inhale your arms out and up overhead. Interlace your fingers. Flip your palms up towards the ceiling and look up at your hands and lift up your heart. Depending on how open you're feeling, maybe your head and your hands drift back some more. Maybe your hips drift forward, deepening the bend. See how much bend your body wants. With an inhale, bring yourself upright. Exhale, bend to the right. Feel for length through both arms. With an inhale, come up through center. And as you exhale, bend to the left. Inhale, come up. Exhale, let your arms come down. And let's start into some sun salutations. From the top end of your space, inhale up. Exhale, pull down. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, pull down. Plant your hands and step back to plank. Spend a couple breaths in your plank, really finding that plank shape. Lengthening out, hips settling down in line with the shoulders and heels, or shoulders and knees if you're doing a shorter plank. With an exhale, slowly lower all the way down, elbows staying in close. How slow can you go? Come all the way down, untuck your toes, release everything. Pressing into your hands on an inhale, lift your head and chest to whatever height is right for you. Might be a very low cobra, might be higher cobra. When you're ready, it can be upward dog. So every time we go through, just listen to your low back and do the heart opener that's right for you. On an exhale, rock back and up to down dog. Pass through table maybe to make it more gentle. Nod your head. Shake your head. Inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or hop forward. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to come down. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll do two more. One will be slowed down with extra breaths woven in all along the way, and then the other one will be quicker, and that combination of changing the pace is nice and invigorating. And I'm just turning a different way to give a different view. So the one where you take extra breaths, it's a bit like Simon says, you might find yourself like missing a beat, and that's okay. That's just part of the fun. Inhale, arms up. Exhale here. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale here. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale here. Exhale here. Plant your hands and step back to your plank. Take at least one full breath in your plank. When you're ready, on an exhale, lower halfway, and this is challenging. If you can, inhale here, drop your knees if you need to, and exhale here. And inhale to bring your heart forward, your cobra or up dog. Exhale here. Inhale here. Exhale, rock back and up to down dog. Take a nice full breath in, down dog, inhaling and exhaling. Then inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale to bring your feet up to your hands. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale here. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale, roll to standing, hands overhead. Exhale here. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale here. Exhale here. So now a quicker one without the extra breaths. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold. Take your hands, step back to your plank. When you're ready for plank, exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, come forward, open your heart. Exhale, backing up to down dog. Inhale, bend knees, look forward. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Let your hands hang at your sides. If you like, close your eyes. If by chance you're dizzy, keep your eyes open for safety. And just feel the energy coursing through your body. Heart beating faster, maybe breathing faster. Let the breath slow down for a moment. And if your eyes are closed, open them up again. Bring your hands to your heart. And we're going to come into a high lunge. Left foot forward, right foot back. Come up on the ball of that back foot. Aiming all 10 toes in the same direction, so the back knee is lined up in the same direction as the front knee. Reach your arms up overhead. Exhaling, sink forward in your hips, draw your arms down. Inhale, glide up. And maybe rotate your arms as they come down, turn your palms towards the floor. As you go up, bring your palms towards each other. And from the top of the movement, let's twist. Reach your left hand forward and your right hand back, twisting to your right. Come back through center, and then twist to your left. Come back through center. Bring your hands to your heart. Big push off the back foot, step forward. Then step the other foot back, find your lunge on the other side. When you're steady with the placement of your feet, bring your arms up. Exhale, sink forward, lower your arms. Inhale, glide back up. 4 or 5 more times. We don't have to go at the same pace. And then twist to the left. Come back through center. Then twist to the right. Come back through center. Bring your hands to your heart. Big push off your back foot, step forward. Relax your arms. Pausing to grab a sip of water, grab your water whenever you like. And from the top of the mat, we'll start into sun salutation again, but then from down dog, start to add in some variation. Inhale your arms up. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to lift halfway up. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands and step back to plank. If ever your arms get tired after some sun salutations, you can go right from plank to downward dog. Otherwise, exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, bring your heart forward. Exhale, back and up to downward dog. Inhale, raise your left leg up. Bend your knee and stack your hips. 2 options here. You might flex your foot and make circles with your knee, or if you like to flip your dog, you can flip your dog, letting your left leg come back and your left foot land, reaching the left hand up, raising hips towards the ceiling, or just flexing your foot, circling your knee is nice too. If you flip, nice and gently flip back. Square your hip down. And some plank variation. Exhale, draw your knee towards your left elbow. Take a breath, rocking forward to a modified plank. Inhale, reach the leg back up. Exhale, draw your knee towards your right elbow. Then take a breath. Inhale, reach your leg back up. Exhale, let your foot down. Inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, bring your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, all the way up, hands overhead. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, down. Plant your hands and step back to plank. When you're ready, exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, bring your heart forward. Exhale, back and up to downward dog. Inhaling, raise your right leg. Bend your knee and stack your hips. Either flip your dog or flex your foot and make circles with your knee in each direction. If you flip, nice and gently flip back. Soft landings only. Square your hip down. Exhale, draw your knee towards your right elbow and take a breath. Inhale to reach your leg up. Exhale, draw your knee towards your left elbow and take a breath. Inhale, reach your leg up. Exhale, let your leg down. Take 3 clearing breaths in down dog. Let your knees come down and make your way to child's pose for a minute. Take a short rest. Bring your big toes to touch, widen your knees, sit back towards your heels, walk your hands forward, let your head come down towards the floor. Notice the action of your breath In the resting pose, expansion of the upper body as you're breathing in. Maybe some settling back and down in the hips as you're breathing out. If it bothers your arms or shoulders to reach forward, reach your hands back by your feet instead. That can be a nice option. With an inhale, bring yourself back up to table. We're going to make our way back to down dog and then do a little more prep and make our way to pigeon. Curl your toes under, press into your feet to lift your knees, press into your hands, lift your tailbone, and you're back in downward dog. Inhale, reach your left leg up high. Exhaling, draw your knee towards your chest. And send your foot over to the right side of your mat. So the pinky toe edge of your foot is resting on the floor. We call that one star pose. And if you want to go further from here, you could bring your right hand in towards your heart and then up towards the ceiling. And there's fallen star. Kind of like a twisty side plank. Good. Bring your hand down. If you feel real jazzy, you might try like a push-up here with your legs just like that. It's called a half chap. You can bend your elbows, lower your chest, and press back up. Good. Bring your knee to center, reach your leg up nice and high, and we'll come to pigeon. So take your time. Exhale and draw your left knee towards your left wrist, your left ankle towards your right wrist. Let that lower leg land. Let the back knee down and uncurl the back toes. Take a look at the back leg and see that it's in line behind the hip and not going off to one side. Press into your hands. Inhale, lift up, look up a little. And exhale, start to melt forward. Walk your hands forward. Take your time, just explore and see where your body wants to go. Coming down maybe onto your forearms. We always want to allow room for the pigeon pose to keep evolving. As your hips continue to open and settle, you might walk the back knee back. You might walk your hands forward. You might have set up too close to a singing bowl and have to walk your whole body backwards like I'm doing. I didn't have room to move my arms. I had to shift my whole pigeon. You're just surrendering to breathing and gravity and seeing what your hips want. Just breathing into whatever comes up, exhaling to release anything unpleasant that arrives. Funny things happen with pigeon, things happen with deep hip work because things get stuck in our bodies. Someone famously said we have issues stuck in our tissues. And doing deep work like this wrings out that stuff. We don't need to analyze it or figure it out. Some weird feeling comes up, and just let it go. So emotions get stuck in the body. You can be in a deep pose like this and suddenly feel angry or giggly or sad and not have any thought associated to that random emotion. And it's great that we don't have to figure it out. We can just exhale and let it go. Let's start to come out. Take your time to bring your elbows in closer. Make your way eventually up onto your hands again, arms extended. Looking forward and up. And if you want, you can bend the back leg and reach back to take hold of your foot or ankle and explore that bind, stretching your quad and opening that shoulder. I like to use the opposite arm. Some people like to use the arm on the same side. I find it very tippy. I can tip right onto my side if I go with my right leg and my right arm. Release the bind if you've got it. Plant your hand. Plant your foot. Curl the toes under. Press into your foot. Lift the knee. Engage the leg. Press into your hands. Lift the other leg up. And then let's bend the knee. Stack the hips. Flex your foot. Make a couple circles with your knee in each direction. Help restore circulation to that hip joint. Then square your hip down. Lower your leg. Inhale, lift both heels, maybe rock onto your toes. Exhale, lower your heel. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, draw your knee towards your chest. And send your foot over to the left side for start. And if you like, continue on to fallen star. Reach your left hand up. If your left hand's raised, bring it down. If you like the half chat, try the half chat again. 20 push-up. Bring your knee to center. Reach your leg up high. Exhale, slowly draw your knee towards your right wrist and your ankle towards your left wrist. Let that leg land. Let the back knee land. Uncurl the left toes. Check out the alignment on that leg back there. Press into your hands. Inhale, look up, lift up. Exhale, relax, forward and back. Melting towards the ground. Thinking of the journey, not the destination. Not worrying about how low we go, how much the hip opens, just seeing where your hip will take it. Always allowing room for the posture to evolve, for the knee to walk back, or the elbows to walk forward, or anything else that needs to shift to accommodate what's happening for you. And when you're ready, time to come out. You can stay there a little longer if you like. Walk your elbows back when you're ready. Get your hands planted, finding height again. And if you want, bend the back leg, reach back and see about that bind. Releasing any binds, let your hand and knee come down. Press into your foot and lift your knee. Press into your hands, lift the other leg. Bend that right knee, stack your hip above the left hip, flex your foot, make a couple circles with your knee in each direction. Square your hip down, lower your leg. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, lower. Let your knees come down. Cross your ankles. Walk your hands in towards your knees. And you can either roll right over your ankles to come to a seat or tip onto one hip and spin. Not everyone likes to roll over their ankles. Plant your feet in front of you. Reach your arms forward and sit back as far as you can with your feet still on the floor. Lift your feet a little bit and take a couple breaths. If you need to, you can grab your hands with your legs, help support your legs. If you ever need to, you can put your feet down and take a break. Find your challenges. Lift your legs half as high as you can and take a couple breaths. Maybe they're parallel to the floor like this. Lift your legs as high as you can and take a couple breaths. Lower about halfway, take a couple breaths. Lower most of the way, not all the way if you can help it. Couple of breaths there. Let your feet land and plant your hands. And bring your feet together like we did at the start of class. Have your feet a good distance away from your pelvis. If there's room, grab the floor under your ankles. If there's not room, go over your ankles. And grabbing the floor with your hands, walk your hands forward. Let your arms draw you down into this pretzel-y shape. And let your neck relax, let your head hang down. Slowly walk your hands back and sit yourself up. Keeping your feet together, now bring them in close. Clasp your hands over your toes. Wriggle on your seat, tilting your pelvis forward. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, keeping your spine long at first. When the long spine stops lowering, let your neck relax and let your head bow down. Breathe into your hips. Inhale, slowly sit up. Let your arms help your legs, lift your knees towards each other. Extend your legs out. Let your arms help them open up. And still letting your arms help. Bend your right leg and bring your foot over by your left leg. Pivot your chest towards the left foot. Flex your left foot back towards you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold over that extended leg. Exploring with your breath. As you inhale, think of the crown of your head reaching forward. As you exhale, think of your head lowering towards your leg. And slowly bring your right hand in towards your heart. Reach it out to the side. And then we're going to take a bind. So bend your elbow and slide your arm across your back. Yeah. Johnny came up with this variation while we were doing this stretch we do every day. And I think it's a great one. And then an extension. Bring the arm back out here. Now reach your arm up and overhead towards the extended leg. And that part is really key for helping undo some of the compression in the middle of the lower back that we get from sitting a lot. And slowly bring your arm full circle, up, out, and back over by the other arm. And walk your hands up the front of your leg to sit up. Extend the right leg And bring your left foot over, pivot your body, flex your foot. Inhale, reach up. And exhale to fold down. And explore maybe deepening that fold for a few breaths. And slowly draw your hand in towards your body. Reach it out to the left. Fold it across the back. Extend your arm out again. Sweep it up and over. And sweep your arm up and out. Bring it across to your leg. Then walk your hands up your leg. Good. Extend the left leg again. Nudge the legs back together. And come on to your back. Bring your hands behind you. Take your time to gently lower down. And we'll take fish pose, which is a great counter pose after doing pigeon. Zip your feet and legs together. Lift your hips, slide your hand under your butt, palm down, and sit on the back of your hand. And then do the other side. So you wind up sitting on the backs of both your hands. Feet and legs are still together. Walk your elbows in towards each other. So you wriggle your arms under you, bringing the weight into your forearms and out of your back. Inhale, lift your head and chest. And keeping your shoulders raised, let your neck nice and slowly relax. Let your head tip back. And think of the crown of your head just barely finding the floor. You want to just lightly touch down so you're not really putting pressure on your neck. Maybe you just feel your hair touch the floor. We take some nice deep breaths, and on the exhales, let out anything that wants to come out, any sound. And we'll really take our time to come out too. Nice and slowly lift your head. Come all the way forward till your chin comes to your chest. And then just let your shoulder blades down. And then let your head come down. And then free up your arms and your hands. And if your hands went to sleep a little, hang them on the floor, wake them up. Take a couple breaths. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Hug your knees. Explore rocking and rolling movements, massaging your low back against the floor. Maybe repeat, making opposite circles with your knees like we did at the beginning. And nice energizing twist. Plant your right foot, cross your left ankle above your right knee. Reach your arms out to the sides. Letting your shoulders stay on the ground, let your legs fall to the right and turn your head to the left. Nice and slowly come back up to center and switch your legs, cross them the other way. Twist the other way, keeping your shoulders grounded. Come slowly back up to center. Uncross your legs. Draw your knees in. Reach your feet towards the ceiling. Reach your hands up to grab your legs or your feet wherever you like to grab. And play with bending and straightening your limbs, exploring movement in happy baby pose. Whatever movements your body seems to want. Big movements, little movements, slower movements, whatever it is. If there's some other inversion you would rather do, of course you can go ahead and do it. Letting your legs and feet drain. Maybe feeling into the space you cleared in your hips and other joints. And maybe there's some other movement or some other posture that your body's craving as you're winding down, something you thought you might do in practice and we didn't do, or something you just like to include in your practice that I didn't do. You can add in anything you like before you could head to your final resting pose. You can invert for as long as you like. When you're ready, make your way to Shavasana, which can be classic corpse pose, or whatever position you could be comfortable in, because of course we use that word two different ways. Shavasana is the name of this posture with the legs extended, feet splayed open, hands resting outside the hips. But it's also the state of quiet stillness that we come into to integrate the benefits of the practice. And it's more important to be comfortable than it is to be specifically in corpse pose. If corpse pose isn't comfortable, the integration isn't going to be as effective. Part of what happens as we lie still at the end of practice is remaining excess tension can continue to melt away from the body. And if the position you're in isn't comfortable, that's not going to happen very smoothly. You can always adjust the position you're in. What's comfortable now might not be as comfortable a minute from now. All you really have to do is breathe. You might choose to focus on your breath as a simple meditation. You might come back to an intention you had set for yourself. You might just let your mind wander off. Each exhale bringing you a little closer to the ground. You can feel free and tune me out if you like, of course. You might even turn your sound off. Maybe you already did. I don't know. And I'm going to share a little reading from Meditations from the Mat, Daily Reflections on the Path of Yoga. This is a book by Rolf Gates and Katrina Kennison. And if you're wondering, this is the 190th day of the year, day 190. That's how the book is organized, by days of the year like that. And this is from part 3, Postures of Yoga. So it starts with this, a quote from a student and then some reflection about that. So this is from Martha M., a yoga student of Rolf's. I have 2 daughters, and when they went off to college, I began to realize that they had given me my purpose in life, my purpose beyond myself. This change, and reaching the midpoint in my life, set me thinking. It was clear to me that I was hungry spiritually. Middle age is the time when you realize that you are going to die. Yoga has helped me to live through that realization and to figure out what I'm going to do about it. A key question for me has been, how do I commit? The first year and a half of yoga was really hard, emotionally and physically, and I wanted to quit. There were so many painful things, I sometimes didn't know how I would get through class, but I stayed with it. I think some of what I was learning by sticking with yoga was also helping me to learn how to stick with my partner. I worked on not leaving when the going gets tough. In practicing this, living it, has helped me a lot with my partner and at my new job. Yoga helps me to focus on the task at hand, do it well, and not worry about what is going to happen next. Martha talks about the complexity beneath the simple concept. Contentment in and of itself is not complex. Contentment is simply reverence for the grace that is already present in our lives. On the mat, anchored in the real, we encounter another aspect of santosha. Santosha, by the way, is a Sanskrit word for contentment. Most of us arrive with a powerful discontent practice already in place. To make matters worse, we live in an ever-changing world that seems dedicated to providing us with opportunities for discontent. Don't we ever? Martha discovered that the distance between discontent and contentment is bridged by the willingness to be honest and to work hard. For Martha, the work has been to stay in one place and to let go of the results. She has had to learn to allow her truth to be enough, and by doing so, she has opened the door to santosha, inviting contentment to become an aspect of her everyday life. I hope our practice this morning has brought some contentment, and I will leave you in quiet for a minute or so before we wrap things up. Start to give yourself some deeper breath. Let your body start to move around. bit by bit, taking your time, letting your movements gradually grow bigger. There is no rush. When you're ready for bigger movements, you can gently sit yourself up. And if you like, bring your hands up by your heart. Thank you for gathering to share practice this morning. The best in me sees and honors the best in each of you. Namaste. May you find further contentment in the rest of your day.